Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Himani. You can, I think, open your mic and we can see you, Dr. Himani.
All right. Good,
You're
good, good.
audible. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, you are audible. Yes, I think I was asking, am I audible? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Himani. Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm good too. Great. Okay, we'll wait for one more minute, then everyone will be joining, I believe.
All right. Let me know when we can get started.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Meanwhile, I think whoever is there, we can I share the link for the Miro board and the password so that
Best the you share the Miro board link and password. So guys, remember that you don't have to change the password or you don't have to play with that. Okay, everyone, we are sharing the we are sharing the Miro. That is the shared board, working board for everyone. So everyone, please log in or directly join the Miro board. Okay, where you all can work. Okay, password is June 9900. So everyone can work on this, online workspace altogether. Okay, I hope we are good.
yes, I think meanwhile everyone is joining, we can, get students onboarded on that.
Yeah. By the time everyone get on board with Miro, everyone, you can join the Miro by the time, everyone. Yes. Okay, so I think we should not delay now. Okay, guys. So I welcome you all. Good evening. I welcome you all to this 2 days webinar on empowering future pharmacists through the digital innovation in medication management. So this is a 2 days workshop. This will be today and next day Dr. Himani will tell us. So Dr. Himani, you are not taking tomorrow morning or Monday?
Let's do it on Monday.
Monday. Okay,
Yes.
so today we will have 1.5 hour and then we will have the next session on Monday. Okay, Monday at the same time from 7 to 8:30. Okay, so 7 to 8:30. What is the email we have to put? Your email, your name, and then this is the password, guys. You have to put your email. Any email, your working email, your personal email, anything. You have to keep your email. You have to log in with your name. I mean, you have to get on board with your name. Okay. Yeah. So this workshop is for 2 days where you're going to get a lot of things. I think you have gone through the workshop coverage also. We have, we'll be talking about medication adherence, challenges, solutions, and digital health role in medication, adherence. Then we'll be talking about patient support programs. We'll be talking about medication therapy management. We'll be talking about smart pill dispensers and digital adherence tools. We'll be talking about remote patient monitoring. We'll be talking about reconciliation tools. We'll be talking about prescription drug monitoring and a lot of things, right? And you're going to get a lot of real world case studies here, like Apollo Pharmacy MTM pilot, Novartis heart failure PSP, and Nixshed TB adherence, plus 99 dots, and then Pfizer's oncology PSP with 1 mg, and then Kesser's permanente MTM in diabetes, right? So you're going to get a lot of things, and you all must, study well. You all must learn well. You all must participate in all the activities here. So this is a 2 days program. Your attendance matters. For the certificate as well, and at the end we will conduct a little test also for all of you what you have learned, and based on that only you will get the certificate. Okay, so it's not like that you will give the final test and get the certificate. You have to be very much interactive and you will be participating in the activities, then only you are going to get the certificate. Okay, so let me introduce our today's resource person. So we have with us Dr. Himani Singh, who is right now working as product leader and medical technologist. So her background study, she is a BDS professional. She has done her BDS from KLE Institute of Dental Surgery, and she's expertise in CRM tools. She's expertise in prototyping and wireframing and all product design sprint activities. And she's expert in product featuring, and she has learned a lot of things to into the health tech and AI, right? And she has worked multiple projects with IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, and she has the good work experience as well. She has worked with the many companies like CareStakes as product manager for the dental practice management software. She has worked with Crelio Health, Pune, as product manager for laboratory information management system, and she has worked with Geo Health Reliance Industries for almost 3 years as product manager for digital health app and platforms. And she has worked with Smart QR technology. You must know this. Smart QR, one of the very famous company, as product manager digital health for the diagnostic and screening app and R&Ds. So I welcome Dr. Himani for this wonderful lecture and wonderful workshop. So I hope this will go very well, and these participants will be participating and learning. So guys, happy learning, and learn well, and ask as many as silly questions you can ask. Okay, so that's better. When you ask questions, you should not feel that you should not ask the questions. So that's always better to ask the questions and clarify, because maybe someone is very shy and not asking the questions. So better you ask the questions, right? So I'll not take much time. Over to you, Dr. Himani. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I'll just share my screen. Please let me know once you're able to
Yes,
see
yes,
it.
absolutely.
All right. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Slide is also visible, right?
Yeah, it is full screen, digital health, medication monitoring, and adherence.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I welcome you all to the today's workshop. So this workshop is going to focus a lot regarding the digital health tool, technology, software, applications, basically the whole ecosystem of digital setup. We all know that post-COVID, India as a country and the healthcare ecosystem in India has got a lot of new learnings about importance of digitalization in healthcare at the same point of time, and the healthcare ecosystem in India has adapted it also very well. Talking about countries like Europe, US, and all, they are like developed countries and they are way ahead with respect to the healthcare ecosystem also. And it's good to know that we are also adopting eventually. In these 2 days, I'm going to specifically talk about medication monitoring, adherence, different technologies, different techniques, how you all being a part of this whole healthcare ecosystem and specifically in the whole pharma world, what is your role in this, how important and key role players you are in this whole ecosystem, where there is a patient who is coming up with the disease and at the end they need to be treated, and this needs to be a continuous care. So, and definitely there are a lot of avenues for folks like you who have domain knowledge, who understand disease, who understand health, who understand medication, who understand drugs and regime, so that people like you who can come ahead. If you have interest, you can probably build your own digital adherence tool platform. You can join startups who are working into it. Probably by this session, while undergoing this session, you might get a new idea. You can start working on those. And this is also going to help you build your portfolio, because large pharma organizations where you're going for placements or you're looking for placements, if you have knowledge about these tools, these software, these platforms, that is going to be an add-on to you. This session is going to be very, very super helpful for those who are like aspiring for clinical pharmacists, because they should be empowered with digital health knowledge. And for everyone who is looking for a project management side and all, I'll keep talking about it. But the whole point is, the whole aim of this session is to bridge the gap between healthcare and technology. We all should keep the pace up with the ongoing, I would say, the trend of digitalization digitalization, and we being healthcare professionals, we should also be knowing all the concepts around it. So I welcome you all to the session, and please feel free to ask as many doubts as you can. And as Dr. Jeet mentioned, it can be any, you should be free. Like, don't feel shy, even if it is silly. I'm here for that. And please make the full use of it. I want you all to be super involved with me during the activities which we will be doing, so that I'll also be like motivated, and then you guys can make the best out of it. Before going ahead, Dr. Jeet has given a good introduction about me. Just giving you a background, you all can find me on LinkedIn. We can connect over there. It's been 7 years of experience for me. I don't do my clinical practice anymore. I leverage my clinical domain knowledge of the healthcare ecosystem, and I contribute in building different healthcare innovations, be it medical devices, medical software, platforms, and tools. And currently, I'm working with Cognizant on a US healthcare project. Side by side, I conduct these different digital health related workshop to empower healthcare professional with digital health knowledge and concepts. So let's get started. This is going to be the agenda on a broader perspective, I would say. We are going to go and drill down deeper into this. Um, these sessions are going to be filled of lot of case studies. I believe that you all should be knowing that, because you will be going to the market, you will be going to the industry, so you should know how all these things are getting utilized in the industry, so that you have a relevant experience and knowledge, or at least a background about it. So this is on a broader level what all we are going to discuss. Moving ahead, this is the day one. Let's get started. So we all know this whole concept of having healthcare ecosystem is because people, or I would say individual, fall ill. Individual fall ill because of a disease. Now, for that, definitely the only source is giving them drugs, giving them medication, putting them on medications. How it is done? By providing them a proper prescription. And that is needs to be followed properly at a regular interval of time at a right dose, right? This is what is very important. That is where monitoring and tracking comes in. So these are the three elements. There are medication, there are prescription intake, and there is monitoring and tracking. This is all about these 2 days where everything is going to revolve around in a nutshell. Now, um, before going deeper into each of these technologies or tools, let's focus little why medication monitoring? Like, why is it even important to monitor it? Why is it important to track it? First thing is to prevent adverse drug reactions, right? To ensure that the therapeutic effects are effective, right? What is the point of giving a medication if it is not being effective therapeutically? There's no point. It might lead to more adverse drug reactions, so that we can support with proper dose adjustments. Like, probably specifically in chronic disease, we start with certain dose with the patient, we might increase it or decrease it, or we might change it depending on how a patient's body is responding, what are the symptoms, or even if they're getting reported by any adverse drug reactions or not. So again, support with dose adjustments is also very important. And how anybody will be able to do it? If they're monitoring it and tracking it regularly and very precisely. To improve medication adherence, this is one of the major thing. I feel you all come from this background of pharma knowledge, bombarded with it. You all, I think you in the whole ecosystem of healthcare, where there are doctors, there are surgeons, there are nurses, there are frontline workers, and everybody, I think you all are the one who know the most, or I would say the highest importance of having an adherence to the medication. That is very important. And again, this adherence can be regulated only if we are having a proper monitoring of the particular drug regime. Special populations need a close watch. Definitely, you all will be knowing it. And to reduce hospital readmissions ultimately. So, in a nutshell, if I talk about, it is important that a patient is getting a right drug in a right dose. And these drugs are being given to a right patient with specific to a specific disease itself, so that the drugs or medications give a right response. Why? Because they have to be effective against a particular disease. A patient needs to be cured, and at the same point of time, it has to be safe. there is no point if somebody is taking a medication and they are fine for another 2 3 days, and but on a long term they have respective adverse drug reactions and they're not doing well, right? So right drug in right dose given to a right patient should be giving a right response, and it should have a right safety effect as well. So on a broader level, if you see, this is why medication monitoring, medication tracking, having a regular track on the whole medication regime is very important. Now, our first, I would say the chunk or a major chunk what we are going to discuss about is medication adherence. I think most of you know what medication adherence is. I would not focus a lot on it, but let me just build a base for you all. Like I'm not I'll not be going into definitions and everything. I expect you all to have a basic base so that I get more time to focus on more technologies and giving you more case studies at the same point of time. All right. Okay, so what is medication adherence? This is the degree to which a patient correctly follows a medical instruction related to medication use. Poor adherence can lead to treatment failure, hospitalization, and worsening the conditions. What does a medication adherence involve? The first thing it involves is initiation, that is, starting the medication as prescribed. Implementation, taking the medications as directed. Persistence, continuing the medication for the prescribed duration. Nutshell, this is all what adherence is, right? For any drug, any medication to become effective, it is very important that patients adhere to the perfect regime for whatever time period it is prescribed in a right dose at a right time. But unfortunately, that is not happening. That is why we are not able to cure or even eliminate or finish a lot of, I would say, diseases on this whole planet. Moving ahead, I want you all to come to the board which we just logged in. Everybody here on this part. Can everyone join me at this part? Everyone on the board. Those of you who have joined late, we have added a link in the chat with the password to this Miro board. This is a thinking board. This is an exercise board where you all should log in. I can just see 40 of you. Where are you others? Please join in. Everyone should be here. You all have to be super active. That is only when you're going to make the best out of these sessions. I don't want you all to just simply listen to me and what I'm talking about. I want you to participate and apply also what we are going to learn. Okay, there are some things in the chat. Let's see. Link is not visible. Okay, let me reshare the link to you. There is link and there is password. Please don't change the password. All right, only 56. Where are the rest? Don't touch anything. I will tell you guys. Just hold on. I want other folks also to join. I will tell you how to use it. Just give me. Ma'am, what to fill in, what kind of work to do? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Just hold on. Let other people also get onboarded. If you see my screen, we just have 62 of you. I think the number are much higher than this. Password is June9900. It's there in the chat. June9900. All right. All right. So I want you all to come here. And my question to you is, and I want you all to think a little. What do you think, what are the barriers you see in medication intake in Indian patients, especially in chronic conditions? So what I want you to do is you can pick up any of these post-it cards. You can just, I want you all to first look at the screen so you know how to use it. Otherwise, there is no point. Please look at the screen. Don't copy, paste anything here and there. Look at the screen. You can pick up any of these post-it and you can just click on it and you can just start typing. That is how it is going to work. Just pick up one which you are finding empty, any of this, and start typing. What do you think What do you think are the barriers you can see with medication intake in patients, especially in chronic diseases? And those of you, if you're not able to log in by any chance because of any reason, you can start putting your thought process in the chat box also. I'm going to note that as well. But it would be good if you can join me here, but that's okay. If any one of you is not able to log in, password is not incorrect. If anybody has changed it, I can't do anything. It is supposed to be June 9900. But if anyone is not able to log in, you can just Shraddha says, yes, you should log in with working mail ID, your own name. If you're not able to log in for now, you can put your thoughts in the chat as well. I want you to pick up a board or pick up a post-it and tell me what do you think are the barrier for Indian patients, especially in chronic condition for medication intake. You all would have seen, right? You all would have seen different patients, interacted with them. What do you think? What are the barriers for them for medication intake? They would have told you, you would have heard from them, anything like that. Guys, don't put it as a comment, please. If you double click on these, if you just double click on these, you can start writing. No, please don't end the link, don't end the meeting. If that is happening, please drop your pointers in the chat box. My suggestion is for the next session, if it is possible, please log in with your laptop so that we can do both. But if that is happening, please put your messages in the chat box. I'm going to read them. All right, let me just read what all you have written. Okay. Okay, let me just go through chat. Meanwhile, people are adding there. Communication is the most important barrier in medical adherence. What communication? Communication from whom? Not understood properly. Busy lifestyle. Okay. Polypharmacy. What is the barrier with polypharmacy? What can you just explain more? Compliance and adherence. Yes, okay. Multiple medications for different schedules, so confused, non-adherence. Secondly, if the patient have no symptoms, then she thinks there is no need of taking medications. Makes sense. Patient unable to understand how medication work or patient experiencing side effects. Right. Personal belief related to side effects, lack of awareness. Yes, OTC medications, busy schedule, forgetfulness. Very good point, Tasha. Okay, lack of knowledge regarding medication usage due to literacy of patients. Yes, lack of knowledge, communication, diet management. Yes. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Cost, very good. Jyoti, very good point. Indian market, specifically for chronic disease, is a very cost-centric market. Affordability matters a lot. Cost, yes. Financial constraints, yes. For long-term medications, definitely. Let me see what all you have added here. Lack of knowledge. Polypharmacy, many drugs are taken for multiple chronic conditions at once. Yes. Societal stigma for certain conditions like AIDS. Yes. Fear of side effects, increasing cost, not knowing the importance of drug or how they actually help in reducing the disease. Yes. Lack of knowledge regarding completing therapy, taboo, increasing medication, socioeconomic conditions. Yes, yes, yes. Carefulness, attitude toward careless. Okay, yes, makes sense. Improper knowledge. Is there a word like improper? Okay, I don't know. I understand proper ka opposite, you're telling improper. Okay. Yes, but that makes sense. But I'm not sure if improper is a word. Overdose of drugs or skipping of therapy due to taste. Mm-hmm. Poor compliance, affordability, patient ignorance, less understanding, repeated administration of dose, hectic work schedule, lack of communication. Right. All right. All right, let me see if do we have any new point. Misconceptions, forgetfulness, too many medications in therapy plan, poor access to regular follow-up. Yes, tolerance. All right, guys, thank you so much. I have some great inputs over here. I think we can move back to our session. Improper schedule dose, unable to identify. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Unhealthy lifestyle, economic barriers. Yes. Yes. All right. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have some good pointers. All right. Let's get back to the slide. Let's get back to the slide. So now okay, why we did this activity is one, I wanted to have a basic understanding that how much aware you all are with respect to the patients whom you interact with them and how aware or you are with respect to medication adherence as a regime or as a topic. So yes, what you mentioned, and specifically I had mentioned it very clearly, Indian patients, because that's the major chunk which you would be facing. And most of you have spoken a lot about cost, financial aspects, and specifically chronic diseases have a longer regime. So socioeconomic background matters a lot, definitely. That was the one point which I was looking out from you guys, and most of you have mentioned that. Another part, a lot of you have mentioned, spoken about the polypharmacy. Yes, definitely. Polypharmacy also leads to a lot of different drugs, which often confuses patients. Most of you have mentioned about it. You all are right. Um, Lack of knowledge, lack of awareness, when to take, how to take, what is the right dose, superstition, one of the major thing. At times, just because, as one of you have mentioned, just because they don't have symptoms, so they feel okay, I don't need medications, but it is not like that. Yes, but very good inputs. Let's move ahead. So in a nutshell, why patients don't adhere? Because of forgetfulness, because of the side effects they face, cost issues, lack of understanding, and complex regime. So, all the pointers which you just mentioned some time back, all of them revolve around those. And I think you all have touched base, all of them. None of these major pointers are being mixed. So, kudos to you all. Next part comes is what is the role of pharmacists come here, right? So first part, which is very important, where you all have spoken a lot about lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. So yes, this is where medication counseling comes into place. Clinical pharmacists play a very important role in the whole process of this regime, where you create a lot of awareness, lot of counseling, and talking about awareness not only with respect to patient but with respect to their family members also. When we talk about chronic diseases where the treatment goes like forever, it is very important that the caregiver, if somebody's parents, it can be their daughter, their son, or anybody, they all should be counseled at the same point of time as well. Checking adherence via refilling data is very important. I say we are in a digitalized world. I don't think so any clinical pharmacist, any healthcare professional, you cannot you can't even counsel a patient properly, like probably at the starting of a regime, yes, but when over a treatment period, you cannot counsel them properly, you cannot advise them, you cannot modify their doses, anything, if you don't have a proper refill data. And gone are the days when everything used to be on paper. Now everything is digitalized. So everybody should leverage this, because this gives you a lot of insight about your patient and their treatment plan. It talks about a lot about your behavior. I'm not going in depth here because I have a lot of case studies interesting to talk about there. But yes, checking adherence via refill data is very important part. Monitoring prescription and their impact. By impact, I mean Are they facing any adverse drug reactions, right? Any different symptoms which are not expected, so that you can definitely modify their dose, modify their drug, or can suggest an alternative to them. Creating awareness, major part. At the starting, when a doctor sees the symptoms and they give a prescription, they try to do their part. But I honestly believe a major chunk of creating awareness, creating counseling, and specifically around the medication regime, that is all on the shoulder of a clinical pharmacist to a major extent. Building trust and simplifying the regime. So building trust part comes into play, where you all have spoken a lot about having taboo, superstition about all these aspects, regimes and all. So yes, um, you all play an important role where you build a trust between a healthcare treatment and the thought process of a patient, and ultimately that leads to a better care delivery. Moving on, I want to show you all a case study of a diabetic patient who basically lands up getting improved with respect to their glycemic parameters after a pharmacist driven adherence support program at a Apollo pharmacy. Yeah. So I want you all to be now vigilant here, understand this whole case study, because this case study is going to talk about a lot of attributes of medication adherence programs which are there existing. And this is one of a live case study which was with respect to Apollo Pharmacy. So I want you all to meet patient. He is Ramesh Kumar. He says a hi to you all. He is 56 years old. He stays in Hyderabad. He has type 2 diabetes mellitus for over last 8 years. Medications he's taking are these. You can see on the screen. He's taking metformin in 500 mg and other medications as well. And you can see he's also taking a medication for hypertension as well. His baseline HbA1c is 9.1%, and there is a pharmacy, that is Apollo Pharmacy, who is playing a major part in it, which is a local retail unit enrolled in a pilot patient support program. So this word is very important. I think you would have seen it in the brochures also. Patient support programs. Big pharma companies, be it Cipla or any of these, Pfizer and all, they have specific teams who are dedicated to run patient support programs. These patient support programs are generally led by pharmacists, generally majorly led by clinical pharmacists, because there's a lot of patient interaction which comes into place. Pharma companies put in a lot of money in building these programs, supporting patients, because at the end, what matters the most for a pharma company is that their drugs are being effective for patients, and they are ensuring that the disease is taken care by the drug which a pharma company is making. So again, patient support programs, very important for a pharma company, and a very important attribute of the whole ecosystem as well. So what were the problems identified? Problems which were identified were that Ramesh frequently misses his dose, especially post-lunch. No lifestyle changes and irregular glucose monitoring. Being a diabetic patient, he felt medications were not helpful and discontinued medications for a few weeks due to side effects and lack of follow-up. So these were the major problems which were identified. That's when Apollo Pharmacy comes into place, and Apollo starts a pilot pharmacist-led adherence support program, which was launched in support with a health tech startup. So there were a lot of interventions which were done by clinical pharmacists. How? Let's see one by one. Initial counseling, educated. So Ramesh is my fictional character. If you see here, this pilot has enrolled, I think, if I'm not sure, I'll probably share you link also once this session gets over. But in this pilot, there were close to like 680 diabetic patients who had enrolled in this whole pilot program. And this was done in, I would say, like a particular geographic area, right? So there were interventions, and in these interventions, they started educating people like Ramesh with respect to medication importance, timing and meal relation, and managing mild side effects, right? When it comes to a diabetic patient, it is very important what he's eating, when he's eating, and when he's taking their medication. So again, initial counseling plays a very important role. When you give a proper counseling at the initial level itself, it sets the whole base for the patient. Digital reminders. They enrolled all these patients. In this case, Ramesh was enrolled in a Medtel app for SMS and app-based alerts, right? So every time during this his day, whenever he was supposed to take a particular medication, he used to get a SMS like, "Hi Ramesh, at this time you have to take your meds." Right? They had also installed application in these pilot programs in these patients. So every time, because forgetfulness is one, missing doses is one of the major point. Having a busy schedule, they forget it. So there's a pop-up which comes on your phone that, hey, it's time you have to take your medication, right? And the fun part was also that because the problems were identified, that these folks who are so busy in their everyday schedule or everyday lifestyle, there were some very good notifications which I came across, was that for people who are working professionals who go to office on everyday basis, right? So say suppose in morning they are supposed to take metformin, right? After or before, whenever, at whatever time the doctor has prescribed it. Say, now let's assume in lunch also they have to take a medication. Now lunch will be happening in office, right? So before, like early morning, somewhere around 9:30 ish, the app generally pops up like, don't forget to pack your medications along with you to your office so that you don't miss for your lunch, right? Such kind of notifications were also there in the application. I could also see such notification which mentions that, make 3 groups of your medications. Put them in 3 different kits. Keep one kit in your car, keep one kit in your office, and keep one kit in your home so that you don't miss. So these were tiny little snippets, tips, everyday, tiny little knickknacks which were given by these applications, which were actually helpful, engaging, and fun for the patients also. Next was family involvement. Um, Pharmacists counseled his daughter to support Ramesh in his regular routine. Specifically in long term, or talking about chronic diseases, it is very important that caregivers also play an important role. Why? Because it completely revolves around lifestyle. It is very important that caregivers are also counseled, are equally informed. Lifestyle tips, simple tips, like I just shared you a couple of tips, right? These were like interesting notifications which caught my eye, right? So in that, one of my family relative was also involved. That is why I know these small notifications. Though it was a pilot, it was not launched publicly for everyone. It was a pilot program which was happening. So that's how I know these interesting notifications. Simple tips were shared weekly via WhatsApp also, regarding sugar control, regarding walking, regarding exercises, regarding different recipes to eat, how to control sugar cravings and all. Follow-up calls. Bi-weekly calls were done from clinical pharmacists to check adherence and refill. Like, are you taking meds? Are you taking meds? Because on this side, a clinical pharmacist can see that, okay, he has taken medication today, but in last 1 week, he has missed on this day. So you can just go back to the patient and ask, why did you miss? He'll probably tell you some reason. Maybe because he just forgot. That's okay. Then you need to tell him, okay, check your reminders. Are you not seeing your reminders? Or it can be because I was not feeling well that day, and you can try to find out why you were not feeling well. Was it because of some underlying condition? Was it because he took some medication or something else? So these help in recognizing an ADR. You can log it on your portal, and that can be utilized ahead as well. Checking on their refill. Are you done with your medications? Refill is also a big gap. People think, okay, it's okay, we'll take next week, we'll take next week. And that creates a lag in the whole treatment regime, right? So that's again what used to happen during these follow-up call. And there was one also arrangement of free glucose testing, right? So it was happening weekly basis. So again, that is also a very helpful intervention which was done. Now, let's see what has happened. What was the outcome of whole this program? And this was a report which was published in the WHO Global Report also. I'll share you the link. So, what was the moral of the story? That empowering diabetes management through pharmacist-driven adherence support programs help. It works. How? By reducing medication drop off, by enhancing drug understanding, and leveraging community based support and mobile tools. So it was seen that there was an improvement with respect to the glycemic indexes, right? So there were digital tools like, as I spoke about, there are applications, SMS, IVRs are effective even in low resource setting also, right? Low resource setting is probably okay. Now, this pilot was done where a socioeconomic background was fine enough. Like anybody who comes to Apollo Pharmacy today, you can understand that they come from a uh, considerable socio-economic background. But such adherence platform or such adherence tools or such programs can also be conducted for, low resource settings as well. Definitely, there has to be some modifications in the program, but these will work. Even a brief intervention of 5 to 10 minutes can derive a measurable impact. This was the outcome which everybody figured out. Let's see what was the outcomes. Over a period of 3 months, HbA1c, adherence, blood pressure, and patient feedbacks were the major things which we're trying to track. Before, the baseline for Ramesh was 9.1. After, it reduced to 7.4, which is a significant number specifically for a diabetic patient and one who is also having hypertension at the same point of time. Before, his adherence was measured as 62%, and after that, it was 91%. His blood pressure fairly changed because they tried to make a lot of change with respect to their lifestyle, how he conduct his everyday routine, and the whole regime. Before, he was mentioning that medication started helping, but after this whole pilot program, he said that now I feel motivated. So yes, this is how an Apollo Pharmacy led pilot program has conducted improvement with respect to diabetic patients, and few of them might also be having a hypertension at the same point of time. Now, what I want you all is, are you all there with me? Are you understanding what I'm trying to talk about, what I'm trying to tell you all? I need a yes or a no. Is it interesting? Are you all sleeping? Because okay, I can see a lot of yes. All right, all right. So you all are following me, right? So we will have time for Q and A's, right? After a while, I will have it. But still, if in case there is something with respect to a particular slide you cannot understand, you can probably just drop it in here, okay? I want, like, I don't want you all to just be shy or anything like that, okay? All right, moving ahead. Okay. So let's see something. Now I want to introduce some cool applications, some cool platforms, which you all coming from this whole pharma world should be well aware about. Why? Because tomorrow you are going to use it with your patients. I think you all are fair enough young students of today's generation who is empowered by digitalization. So you all should know about these tools, these platforms. Tomorrow you should be using for these your patients. Third, tomorrow you're going to sit in your interviews. Probably you can showcase and you can talk about these tools, which is going to reflect that you are comparative. And this is how you're going to be set apart from other people who are going to sit along with you, or the other candidates who are going to sit with you in these interviews, right? By knowing about these technological tools, because these tools are being used by every pharma company and at the maximum level. Half of them don't know about it, why it is there, how it is used, and what is the impact. So you, whatever knowledge you're gaining here, you should utilize it and just put it across during your interview sessions. You should talk about it, probably in one line. And if you start talking about it, they'll get to know, okay, you are, you know, aware about the trends, aware about what is the latest thing which is happening in the industry. Let's talk about MediSafe. It is a reminder app. It gives smart alerts. It helps in health tracking. Now, this is something how MediSafe looks like. These are a couple of screenshots of their applications. You can see that they track a lot of symptoms on daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. Some of them being headache, weight, and sleep. Three major criteria they are tracking, because while taking any medication or any treatment plan, the major changes which can be seen around is weight, um, in their sleep regimes, sleep styles, and headache as well. This is one of the screen where you can see the medication, the dose, and the information about it, how it is taken. This is probably screenshot of one of a patient regime that you can see. Today's April 17th. So it is talking about a weekly status of 10 to 17th of April, what all medications he have taken, in what dose and at what time, right? You can see here, send a status report. A report can be sent, right? It also, at the same point of time, whenever a patient is adding what medication he's taking and at what dose, um, the application also tells more about the medication, what it is, why it is, and everything, right? You can also set reminders for the medications at the same point of time. You can invite your caregivers and others also at the same point of time, right? I want to show you all something. Okay. So, those of you who are interested, you can just take a note of it on the side, MediSafe, because this is a session. I cannot put whole time on their platform, but this is a good platform. After this session, after today's session, you should definitely visit their website and see what all is happening there. But I want to focus on couple of things. Like, do you see here what topics do you want to be contacted about? This is a program SMS support, right? We just saw what happened earlier in the pilot program. So this is a platform. MediSafe is doing a lot of things. You all can visit the platform and see what all MediSafe is doing, but I am here to focus on few specific things. Okay. So this application says that results showed that existing patients who have joined MediSafe program saw 7% increase in adherence pre and post medication start. Moreover, MediSafe program user demonstrate 5.8% adherence lift to 95.95% compared to the control group exhibiting a higher adherence rate of 89.9. So this is a clear-cut example that digital adherence helps. It does. It is very difficult for healthcare professionals to probably go home every day, counsel, and keep a track of it. But this is something also called as remote patient monitoring. Your patient being at home can continue his everyday lifestyle work. There is no intervention. Imagine a patient has to come every day to the hospital or to the pharmacy centers and giving them an update. Okay, I have been taking this and this is what my progress have been. Instead, a clinical pharmacist can be sitting in his hospital and he can, at one single time, he can monitor 100 of patients, how they are doing and at what time and how their treatments are being progressing. So yes, this is a reason why digital tools are very important. One of the good thing what these digital tools do is they provide you real world data and insights. And how do you think these are helpful? Because these data, they help you understand patient behavior, right? And why patient behavior is very important. Let me show you. So this is all information from MediSafe as a platform, okay? So if you see, MediSafe is having 5 million plus downloads, 4.5 rated, and there are some good reviews. If you have time after the session gets over, go to their Google Play Store and see these reviews also. When you see these reviews given by these patients, you can actually get a sense that yes, digital adherence tool plays an important part and they help. Now let's see what MediSafe platform says. So they are talking about lot of they are running a lot of different patient support programs via using their platform as a digital adherence tool, right? So they are running program for migraine, where they have figured out using MediSafe in their program, they are finding 78% of adherence. Bipolar, epilepsy, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, atrial fibrillation, even breast cancer. They are also existing in oncology as well. So these are different diseases or the areas where Medisafe is running their different patient support program using digital health tools. And you can see the criterias which they are tracking on a regular basis. Majorly, they want to track how well the patients are being adhering, right? And how well patients are being retaining. They're also running a lot of programs regarding mental health. Like for depression, they can see that there is 73% of adherence rate, which they have seen, right? Now there are a few of another somebody made a point about HIV also when we were just doing the brainstorming session on the desk. So you can see that they are successfully able to increase the adherence in HIV by 82%. But again, just to highlight you all, this is all in the US market. This is not happening in India. Medisafe is a platform which is being used in US. US market is fairly, I would not say fairly, it is highly developed, highly developed market. Okay. So this is what is happening there, but it can be done here as well. We are accepting, we are adopting. RPM is making a lot of efforts with respect to Atmanirbhar Bharat, ABDM, and everything, where we are promoting a lot of digitalization in healthcare and such products also, right? I want you all to visit this platform more and see. You can learn about a lot of insights over here, like what is the percentage of women and men over here? What is the average age? Average age is 38 and 43. And if you can see, 78% are women who are enrolled. And this is specifically with respect to mental health users. So such informations, platform like Medisafe can share with their government organizations, and government organization can plan programs and think what they can implement and how they can implement and when they can implement, right? This is one of the example how real world data helps in all of these parts, right? Let me show you something more about uh, okay. Something very nice they have identified. They're talking about percentage medication skipped. So they have seen that most of the medications are getting skipped during Friday. So this is something about patient behavior, right? Helping more than 9 million patients with respect to 6 medications every day. So this is what, and you can just click on reading about more about their data insights, whichever they are providing at the same point of time. They're having an interesting website with a lot of different information, but I majorly wanted to tell you that why tools are important, digital tools, I would say, and how does it help you, the data which we are getting. Data is very important. It helps in planning better. People are most likely to skip their doses on Fridays and Saturdays, according to Medisafe, reported for more than 2 billion doses which are managed. So Fridays and Saturdays, now healthcare professionals can start drilling about what happened during Fridays and Saturdays, why they are missing. And probably we can start thinking of alternative of, getting more adherence on these days. So these are little knickknacks. How power This is like actually giving you a right example how powerful data is, how powerful digital tools is, right? Moving ahead, because we have restraint of time. Visit this platform, go to insights. They have good case studies also, by conditions, condition by condition, and a lot of good insights on this platform specifically for medication adherence and all. They provide a lot of other solutions also, like patient support, caregiver support, clinical trials and all. But because our session is specifically about adherence, so that's why I spoke about it. You all can take a note and visit their platform. All right, moving on. That was Medisafe. Okay, let me all give you a nice demo also. This is going to be interesting for you all. Okay. Okay, so if you see, this is interface of the application. You can see on top there are different days, right? These are the medication highlights that it was supposed to be taken at 10 a.m. and these are missed, right? You can see that this is profile of Daniel. You can see him navigating through the platform, through the application. Yeah. I want you all to just see it for a while. So it is telling that he has missed multivitamin. He was supposed to take one pill, a probiotic at 6. You can adjust timings also. These are the different doses of different medication which he's supposed to take at what time. Is it a pill, one pill, two pill, how many? Like if you can see, this is he's supposed to take one puff. He can add medication, and once he can just make a tick mark. It is so easy. He's not supposed to do a lot of things. He just needs to tick mark that it is taken. And all this can be probably at the end of a week. He can just take out a report and he can send it to his doctor. He can send it to his healthcare professional, or this is also accessed by clinical pharmacists on the other end. They can have a regular monitoring when they have missed, when they are taking, how they are taking. New medications can be added to this platform. He's trying to add one of the medication, if you can see here, in what form, what is the dose, how many times he's supposed to take, what time he's supposed to take. He's setting up these reminders. And yes, he has added a medication and he has allowed the notifications. And I'm telling you, if you all have grandparents or anybody who is specifically having any chronic disease or anything, or like it works a lot in the chronic disease sector specifically. If anyone is taking some medications like that in your home, try installing one of these applications and see live in your home itself, or probably your friends, family, or anybody. Is it effective or not? Once you feel confident about such tools, that's when you're going to recommend it to your patients as well, right? So this is a snippet. Just wanted to show you how it is looking in the applications. All right, let's go back. Okay. Okay, so there is another application, Hero Health. This is a Indian, so that Medisafe was a US platform. Hero Health is an Indian platform. If you can see, the interface looks very intuitive. It is colorful. It is nice. Again, this is a platform which helps in medication reminder. It helps you giving insights. You can see at 1 p.m., 3 medications, 6 pills are supposed to be taken. These are the different timings, how many meds to be taken. Probably this patient has skipped it and this medication is taken. His yesterday's plan, how well is he adhering, or he or she is not adhering. These are insight of last 1 week. These are list of medications he has been taking. And one thing what happens good is specifically for caregivers, right? If you see here, running low, only 7 left. Refilling is also very helpful over here. Right, and this is the different interface. It's just one of another application which I just wanted to show you, so I just added a couple of screenshots here. Again, my therapy is again a platform. Probably I can show you their website. You all can take a note of it, okay? I'm not going to go down and deepen it because most all of these applications are doing the same thing, but these are different platforms. I want you all to know that these are being used. Something interesting what we can do here is, okay, let me read one of, okay. So one of the patients says, this is of 29th April 25, recent review only. I switched to medication tracker from another that was going to be a subscription model, and it's everything I wanted. It's very easy to use, clean interface, very intuitive to use. I am sorry I didn't start using it earlier. Support is excellent as well. So, I mean, like you all can just read these. It will, help you to understand that is it really helping or not, right? Uh, so somebody mentioned that I only have one little gripple, which is when taking medication. It doesn't display any quantities on the screen when I confirm the medication was taken. This is an issue for me. I have a memory fade and cannot remember whether I took them or not. So this is a real problem. This particular patient is talking about that this patient can't remember how many medications. Basically he's talking about a pill, number of pill, how many they have taken. She or he mentioned that they have a memory fade, so he cannot remember whether they took or not, and this application doesn't show the quantities. So probably it is a suggestion which these platform people or application people can start adding to it. So this shows that people are using it, and once people are using it, they're also finding some of the problems in using application, and they want these problems to be fixed because that is a problem which they are facing, and if it is fixed in the app, that is going to be helpful for them to be adhered, right? Again, couple of screenshots. Again, pill tracking, refill reminders, how many are there, medications. Again, these work on a similar lines. It also track, you can regularly add what is your weight, how it is impacting, how is your blood pressure, how is your fatigue. Something good in this application was uh, regarding moods. Yes, I think specifically for chronic disease, a lot, they take a lot of toll on your mental health also. So this app, a good feature about this platform was it also keeps asking you how your mood is. So imagine by the end of 2 months or 3 months, you have a huge data in front of you which talks about this patient suffering from so and so disease has been on so and so three medications, and have been taking medication on so and so time in a day, this number of times they are taking before food, after food. And this application also provide you to log in different symptoms which you are facing, like you can see headache, back pain, and how many days in a day you're feeling it. So this is a very good area for logging of adverse drug reactions. This is a good platform to identify if patient are taking combination medication, what are the effects and symptoms a patient is taking. Most of the time, patient even forget it, because let's take an example of having a headache. They might think that the headache is because of a hectic day schedule or probably missing their diet, but no, it can be probably because of some drug reaction also. So they might think it, and they might forget next time when they are going to a healthcare professional to talk about it. But you being a clinical pharmacist, if they are regularly logging in, and if you see a trend that in 1 week, almost every fourth day he's saying he's having a headache or a back pain or any other thing, why is it? You can start talking to the patient about it, and if you find something wrong, you can ask him to go to his doctor and get an alternative medication or adjustment in their treatment plan. Very minor thing, but if it is tracked and identified at right time, it is going to be so helpful for the patient, right? At the end, we all want, being in a healthcare ecosystem, we want a good care delivery, and that can only be done if we have proper insights, if we are properly monitoring and tracking them, right? So yes, this is one of the application. You can visit their website. They are talking about, again, some cool features about their platform, what all they are tracking and everything. Yeah. So after this session, you all can just visit this platform as well. All right, moving on. I think you all would know about TrueMeds. TrueMed is again an Indian company. They are specifically not talking about, I mean, they're not directly working on adherence because they don't do reminders and all of those things, but they do something very important. What we talk about Indian centric market is about affordability of medication. So this is a TrueMed is an Indian startup. It has more than 10 million downloads. It have all the medications on the platform. They are said to be of high quality. And the good part is they talk about affordability aspect. Indian market is completely cost centric, right? They give you comparisons of between different medications, substitute medication, cost analysis, and all is done, which is a good feature. And specifically for chronic patients, it is more and more helpful. because their cost of treatment goes really very high, right? So this is a platform which even provides you medication at your doorstep, at your house also, right? So this is what TrueMed is doing. You can also come to their website. Again, it is not specifically talking about medication reminder, but as I told you, cost is a very important point which plays again a very important role in the adherence of a medication. So this platform or this startup is not directly into medication adherence, but they have picked up a small point of it, and they're trying to contribute by their own way by making sure that affordable medications and a high quality medication can be provided to patient, and that too at ease by delivering at home. A lot of times what happens is probably my grandparents or my parents, and I live away from them, and they are having a specific they're not doing well, they're undergoing a specific disease, and me being not there, I and they need a refill, I can just sit probably thousands of kilometer sitting in Bangalore and getting medications delivered at home in Delhi, and without getting affected my parents everyday work, right? So again, a small thing, but digitalization, very important again here. Again, digitalization plays a lot of major role I want to talk about over here. Moving on. Okay. So before we go back there, I can see something happening there in the chat. Okay, let me just read. Okay, there are a lot of questions. Is it paid one? Every okay, there is nothing which is going to be free in this world, okay? Probably some feature in the applications are going to be free, and after some time, it is going to ask you to enroll for a subscription program. Some platforms like Medisafe might provide you the application of reminders, blah, 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 all other things free. You can add your medication, you can add notification, you can add reminders, but in order to enroll into their program where you get access to other things like access to health checkup, access to doctors, access to clinical pharmacists, access to regular counseling, and all of these are going to be paid ones, so that moves into a subscription model. So any platform or tool, it is going to be a mixture of some of things being paid and some of things being free, depending on what is that company's strategy, because at the end of the day everything is business and everyone wants to make money. In some of the patient support programs which are led by pharma companies specifically, probably by Pfizer or any Cipla, when they are sponsoring, those programs are going to be free, those tools are going to be free for patients. So it depends, both of the cases are there. How this app tracking? Okay, this app is tracking okay, say suppose I am supposed to take two medications, one in morning before food and one at night after food. And what I do, I go to this app. I just gave you a demo, right? Just to, but again, consolidate it. I'm suffering from a disease. I go to application, I log in, I add my medication, what dose, what is the prescribed dose, and at what time I'm supposed to take these medications, before food or after food. And I can set reminders. I eat food breakfast at 10 a.m. in the morning. I want a reminder to be given to me 9:45 a.m. So app gives you a reminder, hey, 9:45, you are supposed to take a medication before you take your breakfast. I take my medication and I just click on my application that yes, like you saw a tick button, right? That I have taken a medication. Like this, I'm going to do for all of my medications. Reminders ensure I don't forget it. And by clicking on that, yes, I ensure that I have marked my attendance of taking medication. Over a period of time, 1 month, 2 months, down the lane, 3 months, 7 months, this is how the tracking is happening. When did I take a medication and when did I not? And this whole tracking can be utilized by clinical pharmacists, your healthcare professionals, to understand when a medication has been taken and when not. Applications also provide you a feature where you miss it. It asks you, why did you miss it? You can log in the reasons. It all, like I showed you examples where you can also log in your mood. You can log in, are you facing any symptoms or not? So these symptoms, these mood, these behavior, once you are adding into these platform, after 1 month, 3 months, you can see like in 1 month, 4 of the days, I am having a headache. Why is the headache there? Now, these all points or these tracking symptoms and everything is very helpful for healthcare professional in a better treatment planning. They get a lot of insight, maybe in adjusting your dose, changing your treatment plan, making adjustments in your regimes, or suggesting lifestyle changes, diet recommendations, a lot of things. So that is how it is tracking. Is this prevalent use of such application in real world among patients? Yes, you just saw that the application has more than 5 million downloads. 5 million is a big number. People are using it outside a lot. India, again, I said it is an evolving market. Everybody is taking it slow, but yes, they are adopting it. So, yes, it is prevalent. 5 million, 9 million, 10 million is a huge number, my dear friend. Again, paid, unpaid, I spoke about. Is it available in Indian market? Medisafe? No, but there are, I just showed you some of the example of medication adherence platform or reminder platforms. So such applications are there. These are free. Anybody can use it. Medisafe is only in US, but uh, okay, are these available in Hindi as well for convenience? No, it is not available in Hindi, but Rakshika, if I'm pronouncing your name right, and apologies if I'm not pronouncing good, but this is such a good insight. Probably you can build a medication adherence platform, which is and specifically for India, where we have 26 states with so many local languages, and this is going to be a good help. Or probably if you see there is some platform Indian company who is making such application, you can just write them a mail and you can tell them make it multilingual, make it regional language as well, because most of the patients, specifically chronic diseases, is between a specific spectrum of old age, and that's where adherence can also increase. Rakshika, very good point, very nice. This tracking app shows data for both. Yes. Patients can see their own data. Pharmacists have a different interface. They will not see it like this. This is a patient view, which I showed you. Okay, there are a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Okay. Now, okay, before going to these questions, I have a question for you guys. Um, we are left with 15 minutes. I don't mind extending a little, but do you want me to continue the session going to the next topic, or do you want me to first answer these questions? Only two things can be done. So either I utilize this in Q&As, this is what it was dedicated for, or I just move on to the next topic and we take Q&As later on. Okay. Can we have a voting? Okay, there are a lot. There are mixed answers. Next topic. Move on to next topic. Next topic. Okay, I think next topic wins. But this, okay, we are moving to the next topic, but this doesn't mean that I'm not going to answer your questions. I am going to do that. Okay, probably not today, in the next session, or afterwards. What I'm going to try is, you all are there on the WhatsApp group as well. I'm going to pick up these questions and I'm going to answer there as well, right? And just because of the interest of time, we have a lot of things to cover at the same point of time. So I'll be answering the questions. Let's go back to the board again. Can you all just come back to the board? To a board here. I want you all to visit here. Come to this. Now I want you to tell me, how do you think you can implement a medication adherence in a rural setup? You just saw example some time back. What do you think, how you can utilize in a rural setup? I think Rakshika mentioned a very good point of being Hindi language or multilingual, okay? But you have to make sure and see how many people are using mobile phones there. Do you really think that mobile phone applications are going to be helpful there? Or anything, random thoughts? I know how it can be done, and I'm going to tell you all that, and that's pretty interesting. But I want you all to little think about it. What do you think? How medication adherence digitally can be done in a rural setup? Digitally, in a rural setup, I'm talking about. And we just have 2 to 3 minutes to do this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because we have to cover a lot. And those of you who are not able to log in, you can put it in the chat box also. By raising awareness, okay, digitally. CHCs, yes, but how? How in CHC? CHC would be a mode. How you will, what you will do in a CHC using a digital tool to improve adherence. What are you gonna do? Explaining them how to use app, yes, you can, but okay, yes, we can do that. Somebody wrote here and it is missed now. Voice alert, a very good point. Yes, camp, yes, in but what in camps? So, okay, when if you're gonna tell me CHCs, if you're going to tell me camp, okay, these are modes of connecting with your patient, that patient come here. My question to you here is, what are you going to do in a rural setup which is going to help you in medication adherence of the patients? Conducting a camp is a mode of delivery. Alarm till the medicine end. Okay, this is a good point. Telepharmacy, yes. Clinical pharmacist visit patient house. No, no, no. We have ASHA workers to do that, for to do pay house visits. Probably you can say that we can utilize them. But even clinical pharmacist visiting home, how is it a digital intervention? I want this is a digital health platform. I want digital interventions. I don't want physical interventions. Weekly visit to local hospital centers, guiding them use medication. Yes, I mean, yes, guiding, yes. Guiding, creating awareness is one. Through calls, yes. Void commands, yes. By making the digital application affordable, no. Affordable, forget it. You think somebody in a village is going to pay even 1 rupee for an application? No, they're not gonna do it. I'm so sorry. No. Patient awareness can be increased by programs. Yes. SMS updates. Yes. I don't know if it is a guess or not, but there are some things like this already happening in India, and this is a very good case study I'm going to discuss about in a while with you all. Create a buddy AI that speaks in their own language and do what? Again, for that you need application. How are you going to make them use these applications? Most of them, they in rural setups, they don't even have smartphones, my friend. I have clearly mentioned rural setup, gaon. This is a good point somebody has spoken about, to use a calendar blister packs of color coded system to simplify complex regime. Whoever has done it, very good point. So guys, this is the direction we have to move in. Stop thinking about wrong directions. This is a direction. Think something in these lines, not specifically on this, but one of the mode. Train ASHA, A&M, local healthcare professional workers. Yes, a good point again. In rural areas, this app should provide every information in their mother tongue. Yes, that's already being discussed. But again, getting application used by patient is a major challenge. How are you going to resolve it? Education, awareness, telepharmacy. Okay. Presentation, animated videos, short film. Yes, this is something good. This can be done. Okay. AI chatbot won't work. I'm so sorry. I mean, like, it will work, but not in Indian market. Our market is not ready for it. It is not ready as of now. Yes, newspaper, television, marketing, small movies, these all are modes of creating awareness. Yes. Loudspeakers, reminders. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. I want you all to come back to the board here. Okay, thank you so much. You all have put a very good efforts in talking about a lot of pointers. Okay, there is uh, something very specific I wanted to elicit from you all. I got some of the answers in that direction. Okay, let's discuss. Okay, most of you have spoken a lot about creating awareness. Yes, this is the first thing which we need to do. I mean, the first thing is creating awareness about adherence is important. That's only diseases are going to be eradicated. Yes. You mentioned you can do it by conducting camps, by asking patients to come to CHCs, by conducting different Nukkad Natak, newspapers, radios, loud speakers, and all these channels, by training ASHA workers who go house to house. Okay, these all are mode of creating awareness about medication adherence, about disease, and why adherence is important. Understood. Well, that is one thing which is done, and this is very important, need to be done. You all spoke about training them how to use these applications. Uh, to an extent, it can be done, yes, but I don't know how effective it is going to be because we need to understand in rural setup how many of them have a smartphone. If I would see each house, there might be two phone, one because India is still a patriarchal environment, one with the leader of the house, which is going to be a male, and probably next with the kids, right? So how well these patients are going to utilize phone, there's a lot of going to be dependency on phone being with children or with grandparent or with father. um, Implementing that, I'm not saying it is not possible, it is possible, but difficult in a rural setup. And out of these, how many of them are going to have phones? Making applications in local languages and regional languages and telling them how to use, yes. And I'm not saying we can't do it, we have to do it, and we have to keep doing it because today the market is not ready. Eventually down the lane, 10 years, every house, even in the rural areas, are going to be equipped by smartphones. Geo has reached to each limit, internet has become so cheap, everything is going to happen, yes, but still today we are not. But yes, using SMS, using voice alerts, using phone call interventions, telepharmacies, these are few of the ways. Somebody mentioned about giving a color code calendar to simplify the complex regime, which medication to take, what time to take. And I'm going to share very cool case study around it, and it is an Indian case study only. We will be talking about it, but again, that's what, just to simplify and consolidate it, that's why I mentioned rural India. um, it is very important to be updated with the trends and have technological aspect, but at the same point of time there are limitations also, so we should know how we can merge both of them to get the best care delivery out of it, right? um, Patient support programs, we just spoke about it, we just saw a very good example, right? It involves medication reminder, counselings, education, refill management, financial assistance. A lot of these programs also provide financial assistance with respect to insurance and all those aspects. Again, TrueMed was one of the platform for financial assistance also, right? Financial assistance by providing cheaper medications and by giving comparative medications. These such programs, they help you get access to clinical pharmacists, nurses, healthcare professionals, and again, monitor and track the outcomes. Why monitor and track? Because you get a lot of real world evidence to understand a patient's behavior, and you can try to understand these behavior to implement better implementation in the treatment plan or the treatment course which is coming up. So these are basically structured services which are provided by healthcare companies, providers, pharma companies, so that patients stay on the therapy, they don't miss it. Because be it a doctor, be it a clinical pharmacist, be it a nurse, be it any important component of healthcare ecosystem, be it a pharma company also, everybody want patient to be there on their therapy. Most dropouts, most missing, and being non-adherence is a major contributor of having a disease burden on the planet and specifically in India. So these programs, they aim to improve the adherence, they improve the outcome and patient satisfaction at the same point of time. Now, um, I want to take couple of questions. Probably you can shoot it. We are on a clock of 4 minutes. If I go into next case study, that's going to probably extend up to like next 20-30 minutes. So I don't want to do half and half. Probably here we can start taking a few questions and just FYI, the next session which is going to happen on Monday, please expect it little longer because I want to cover a lot of other things also in that. So it might go up to 2 hours also. But yes, shoot your questions, please. Okay, Divya says one question, ma'am. Using these apps, put a question for credibility of data because inputs are put by patient itself. So the patient might be honest about it, or in some cases, it might be not so familiar with the new technology. Might not be about the dose missed and dose taken. The way you are right, such kind of biases are always going to be there, and you have to consider it. And that's where the initial counseling plays a very important role, where you tell patients that why following a medication regime properly is important and why logging it correctly is also important. You have to tell them. That's where when we spoke about the point of trust building, where a clinical pharmacist role comes into a very important role, is where you tell them logging it in correct format and correct dose is very important, because at the end it is going to help you only for a correct healthcare delivery outcomes. It is there, but that's what you need to train your patients and you need to build a base for. Can we consider literacy or lack of technological knowledge as one of the drawback of such? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Because many of the elderly patients are not so familiar with new technology. Yes. Yes, literacy, socioeconomic background, definitely both of them plays a very important role. And I have seen some of the technologies playing who are considering low literacy level and coming up with very good solutions. As somebody mentioned about color coded calendars, such applications are also coming color coded. Maybe illiterate patient or elderly patients won't understand dose, number, and everything, but they understand color. Green means good, yellow means something moderate, and red means something danger. I will be giving you example of such platforms also. But yes, illiteracy, lack of technological knowledge, and socioeconomic status, both of them play an important role. How is it possible for a country like India can utilize these applications? I will tell you, I have very good case studies. India is already doing it. And there are some good programs which are running it. So you all should know it. And this is a very good space for aspiring folks like you who should, who can contribute in eradication of a lot of diseases in India. I will be talking about such platforms in the next session. Patient privacy while using the applications and may be hesitant. Yes, but any platform or application cannot be built easily. If a platform is there on the Google Play Store, they all are bound to follow HIPAA compliance and GDPR compliance and all. HIPAA compliance ensures patient e-clinical data or e-health data is safe, secure, not shared, and the privacies are maintained. Only that's when the applications go to these play stores. So during the developmental part itself, it has been taken care of. Yes, yes, there are medication adherence platforms available in India. Yes, I gave you a few examples. I'm going to give you a lot of example of patient support programs also. What if the patient update false information, like patient may not have actually taken it? That's something which is not in your hand, Rachna. That you then the patient, you have to educate a patient that don't input false information, because that's not going to be helpful for you and for me as your healthcare partner as well, because then you are going to fall more sick. I'll not be able to help you. But I hope patients don't do it, but that's not in your hand. What if they make AI models which talk in language and maintain their adherence? Yes, definitely. This can be done. Some areas this is already being done. Um, but this is my personal thought, okay? India as a market is still not ready in the rural area. This model is going to be very helpful in tier 2, tier 3 cities, metro cities, and all. Yes, but in the rural space, it won't be so helpful as of now because market is not ready. There are a lot of tasks which a patient need to take care in their regular regime on the everyday. I don't think that they are going to spend time on AI applications and platforms like this to do. Yes, smartwatches can be used for that, and they are also being used. I think a next case study I can talk about in the rest of the session. Uh, I think we have to make these patients aware about direct link between their medication and their positive effects, such as counseling about their laboratory tests, making them aware about right dose. Yes, that's where the counseling in the initial counseling plays a very important part. So again, counseling is a very key important part. Are these programs helpful to treat BP? Yes, yes, yes. Thyroid disorders? Yes, yes, yes. I am going to come up with a lot of other examples also. Yes, yes. Any disease for that matter can be utilized. You just need to think right, plug and play, how you can pull in the technological aspect into it. Use pill counting method, measuring the weight of the medication and advancement auto pill counters. Yes, there are platforms like that. It is existing. Aman, I think what you can do is probably it's going to be a homework for you. You can try to find out a pill counting method digitally that is being done, and you're going to share it to us in the next session. I know I am going to talk about it in my next session. Probably you can also see what it is and let us know. We can increase medication adherence by providing information in rural areas. Yes, we can. Pill boxes. Very good. Who is this? Rakshika. Very nice point. Pill box. Yes. Guys, this is what one of the thing which I was looking out from you all in my rural area setup. Yes, pill boxes. Those of you don't know, I'm going to talk about what pill boxes are. All right. I think we are. Yes. Yes, Abdul, we can continue on Monday. I think we are already on top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you okay. Before leaving and logging off, guys, I want you all to tell me a thumbs up or anything. Are you all understanding what we are talking about? Is the pace okay, or am I being too fast? I need these feedback so that I can implement these in the next sessions and we can make it more useful. All right. Okay, 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 okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I think we are going to see each other on Monday again. Thank you.